at that. These are absolutely delicious. That is perfect.
The Wild Grill is brought to you by Napoleon Grills, North Fork Bison,
Welcome to the Wild Grill. Today, I want to talk about beer. And now that I have all of your attention, what I mean by that is today I want to celebrate the role that beer can play in adding depth and flavor to a dish. What better way to do that than by making a robust, meaty, delicious moose stew with hearty vegetables? And who doesn't love a slice of fresh, yummy, homemade bread to soak up all those good, yummy juices with? So today we will be making beer bread on our Napoleon. And for dessert, we will continue baking on the grill and making gooey chocolate chip cookies infused with Rice Krispies. People say this is a match made in heaven, and today I'm gonna find out if that's true. And if all that doesn't sound delicious enough, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have something to offset the weightiness of that stew? So today, I'm going to share with you one of my go-tos, a fresh quinoa salad. Let's get into it. I love this quinoa salad. And what's interesting about quinoa is that it's actually a seed. And the awesome thing about it is that it's also a complete protein. So that means that it contains all 9 essential amino acids. What I'm using today is Grace's quinoa. And what I love about it is that it's pre-washed. So it saves you those precious moments when you're busy getting dinner ready for your family. All you have to do is measure it out, get it in your pot, and you're on your way. This salad is honestly so simple. What I have in this bowl is 1 cup of cooked quinoa. So all we're going to add into our bowl is our Roma tomatoes, our cucumber, red onions, and of course, to top it off, our feta. Get all that goodness in there, and even all those little stragglers that try to stay behind in that bowl. And all we're gonna do is mix this up. This is so fresh. It's lovely in the summer, but it is so good year round. And now I'm gonna show you the easiest dressing you've ever made in your life. So what you wanna do is grab yourself a mason jar. For those who've been watching this show for a while, you know that I love shaking up my dressings in my mason jar. Super excited about this olive oil today. I have a friend who lives just down the road, and she actually dropped it off a couple days ago. When she dropped it off, she shared with me that this is actually from her family farm in Vasto, which is in the region of Abruzzo in Italy. It's called Licino, and it is 100% extra virgin olive oil, and it is cold pressed, which is super important. So I have it here, and let's just pour that sweetness in there. Next up, lemon juice, red wine vinegar, our Le Dijon, garlic. Garlic is so important in this dressing. Love, 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 love garlic. All right, next up we have honey. And you know, feel free if you don't have any honey on hand, you can use maple syrup as well. Fun part, shake it up. Now that that's nice and incorporated, I want to add just a little bit of salt and pepper to this. One more shake. That is looking fantastic. You know what, if you like your sauces really dressy, if you will, you go ahead and double this batch, okay? Anything left over can be used in pasta salad. It is just such a universal dressing. You're gonna love it, and you'll love it on tons of different beautiful dishes. Okay, so we'll get all that on there. Let's just stir this up. Oh, I just wanna eat this all. Fantastic, really happy with that. Next part, my favorite. As you know, let's test it. I love this combination The quinoa, when you mix it with the bites of those, the beautiful cucumber with the tomato, it just adds such a nice texture to it. And then this dressing, it's zesty, it's sweet, perfect combination. You're gonna love it. Get it on your table. You will not be disappointed.
This portion of the Wild Grill is brought to you by Canadian Shield Insect Repellent.
As the warmer days of spring arrive, so do pesky, biting insects. Thankfully, companies like Canadian Shield Insect Repellent offer a range of options, including products containing DEET and icaridin. DEET has been a trusted insect repellent for over 70 years. However, icaridin is a newer alternative that's gaining popularity. While both are effective against mosquitoes, icaridin offers superior protection against ticks. It's not only highly effective, but also considered safer than DEET, making it a great choice for the whole family, including children as young as 6 months old. Civilizations have been using beer in cooking preparation for thousands of years. There's actually evidence dating back to around 3500 BC in Egypt and the Mesopotamia area. If it was good for them, it's good for us. First up, let's get our Dutch oven heated up. And let's get some oil in that pan. The chino coming through for us. So what I have here, friends, is a beautiful moose roast that I've just gone ahead and cubed. First thing to do with our protein is add in our seasonings. Today I'm going to be using North Fork Bison wild game spice. Good amount there. Now, safety first, guys. Time to glove up. We'll just go ahead and get all handsy. Now we want to follow this part by getting our flour onto our meat. And this is going to give us a nice coating before we get it on and brown it up. Now that this is all white and dusty, let's get it into our Dutch oven to get it nice and browned. Flavor Town, here we go. So this is brown enough, just how I like it. So let's get it off. Oh, let's take that out and get it into a bowl. Look at this color. And then the mixture with the flour and the spices, it's almost like it's got a little bit of gravy on there, and it's saying, Lindsay, don't wait to cook me in a stew. Look at that. So now let's set that aside. We aren't going to stop to clean our pot because we are not princesses on the show. We are going to make sure that we use every little bit of flavor in this pot, and I'm going to show you how. Let's get it back on. First up, garlic. Next up, let's get our beer in. Today I'll be using a light beer by Whitewater Brewing Co. And it's actually called Last Light. That sounds like a nice little evening on a dock to me. And this is where we scrape the pan. All those bits of flavor that have now found a home in the bottom of our pan, we want to lift those up, fully incorporate. Now that all our bits have been lifted off the bottom, now we want to start adding in our other ingredients. What I have here is Worcestershire, and you want to add in at this point about 4 to 5 cups of broth, but I'm only going to put in 4. Let's reserve that last cup just in case we need it throughout the cook. Fantastic. Stir those flavors up. Time to add in those hearty vegetables. Now what I have here are mushrooms, parsnips, potatoes, celery, carrots, and some white onion. So let's go ahead and get those in our pot. Careful of the splashing. Let's go ahead and get our protein in. With a nice stir. Now you don't want to be too concerned at this point if you have vegetables and protein lifting above that beautiful broth line, because as it cooks, it's really going to start to break apart and get nice and tender. It's all going to come together. Just trust the process, okay? Now let's get our barbecue on. Now I'm just going to light my furthest 3 grills because I'm going to keep my pot on the left. I want that convection happening. Now let's get the rack out of here so we can make some space. In you go, my friend.
This Wild Sips is brought to you by Whitewater Brewing Company.
I am so glad you're here because today, one of your favorites, moose stew.
I do. I love stew.
You do love it.
I do love stew.
I'm actually also accompanying that with beer bread.
Nice.
Yes. So I thought, okay, what do you think would go well with this type of meal?
So what we've got here is obviously something that's going to be more winterized. It's going to be sitting in the backyard around a fire, a blanket over your lap, out in the wilderness, cozy. And so I just think a beer. I don't know. For me, every time I think about the great outdoors, my mind naturally goes towards a bit of a beer for some reason.
Right.
I don't know why that is. We talked about that as well before when we were talking about the farmer's daughter from Whitewater Brewing Company. So I thought that was just really neat. So I brought Whitewater Brewing Company back again.
Nice.
This is just their very thirst quenching, super easy light lager. Now, when I was in school and sommelier school, so although most of the time, can I pour you some?
Oh, please, yes.
Okay, so most of the time I, 3/4, 9/10, whatever it might have been, we were of course studying wine and spirits, but we did do a little short course on beer. And you know how I know the difference between the bottom or top fermentation and between lagers and ales?
I do not.
Ales are top fermented, 3 letters in ale, 3 letters in top. That's all you have to remember. So lagers are bottom fermented. So what we've got here is so when we're talking about the lager, that was just like a little kind of like fun trivia. So if anybody ever asks you what's the difference between ale and lager, top fermented, bottom fermented. But what I love about this lager, we've got these really clean, beautiful, pristine ingredients, right?
Wow, that is nice and light.
It's light, but but there's still substance there. There's still flavor there. It's still giving you something. So you've got some of this beer working in the meal, but you've got the flavor components. You've got that symbiotic nature of the meal and the beer. But this also sort of, I think, ties in with the whole vibe of the meal.
Yes.
I think the flavors work really well.
I like that.
This portion of the Wild Grill is brought to you by Napoleon Grills.
Now, beer bread is also known as quick bread, and there is good reason for it because this is one of the fastest recipes when it comes to making bread. What I have in this bowl is 3.5 cups of flour, and I'm going to add to it our salt as well as our baking powder. Let's mix that up, get it nicely incorporated. Time to add in our beer. Ooh, best sound in the world. There we are. And now, very quickly, I want to add the honey in. Mix it all up nice and thoroughly. Now you know you've given this a good mix when your arm is good and tired. You know it's ready for the pan. Now your dough is going to be on the stickier side. That's totally normal and that's what we're looking for. What I have here is 1/2 cup of butter melted, and I'm going to put 1/4 in the bottom and save 1/4 for the top. Now let's get this beautiful dough into our pan. And now let's cover that with the rest of our butter. Let's get this on the grill. I'm going to put it just to the right of our Dutch oven. There we go. We will see you soon, sweetheart. Oh, friends, it is looking absolutely delicious. Let's go ahead and get this guy off. Oh, and let's get it right onto the board. Note to self, forgot to mention that your butter is going to come out when you flip it. And as you can see, I flipped it towards me. Silly me, I got some butter on me. Oh well, hashtag worth it, okay? Doesn't that look beautiful? Look at the coloring we got on that. And normally what I would do is I'm going to let this rest for a little while to completely cool before I cut it, but I want to see what the inside looks like. So let's go ahead and have a peek. Spin this around. Oh my goodness. Just listen to that. It is nice and spongy, bouncing back towards me. That's what I want to see. And now this is a more dense bread than your typical Italian loaf, let's say. However, it complements this hearty stew so well. And I tell you, just the flavor in this bread, in and of itself, is going to knock your socks off. Oh, the smells, friends. Let's go ahead and take it off the heat. Oh, it's like the clouds part, heaven shines down. Now the vegetables look nice and tender in there. Now about 5 minutes ago, I added a little bit of cornstarch with milk in because I like my stews on the thicker side, but if you like them a little thinner, then you go ahead and skip that step. Let's serve that up. Oh my. Now, interesting fact for you, I've learned recently that moose, they can actually swim to the depths of around 20 feet underwater. And they can also hold their breath for up to 30 seconds. The other amazing thing about the moose is that they're absolutely delicious. So let's get in here and try that. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Those rich, hearty flavors are really coming through. I'm definitely getting a hint of that beer, but it's not too pronounced. It actually is really balanced with the other flavors of those root vegetables, and then the mousse, just that savory saltiness is really coming forward. Really beautiful balance that I'm tasting. The moose is the world's tallest and heaviest member of the deer family. Females weigh an average of 440 to 1,000 pounds, where the males reach an average of 830 to 1,500 pounds. Males grow antlers that are equally impressive as their size. These hand-like antlers can grow to a span greater than 200 centimeters. Bull moose use their antlers to display dominance, to discourage competition, and to spar or fight rivals. The moose is a browsing herbivore and can consume many types of plant or fruit. Their diet consists of terrestrial and aquatic vegetation depending on the season. Moose have very few predators. This is mainly due to their size. In North America, the only predators are a pack of wolves, brown bears, and humans. Prior to the colonial era, moose were one of the many valuable sources of sustenance for a variety of our First Nations groups. The meat from moose has a texture and tenderness like beef, but is considered more flavorful and healthy.
The Wild Grill is brought to you by Napoleon Grills, North Fork Bison,
Chocolate chip cookies. What else can bring back so many of those childhood memories in just one bite? Well, some might say the snap, crackle, and pop of Rice Krispies. Combine the two, sounds crazy, but we're gonna do that today on the Wild Grill. So what I have in this bowl is just your basic cookie dough mix that I went ahead and prepared beforehand. And next we're going to add in milk chocolate chips. Of course. This. And we're just gonna mix that out. We're just gonna really mix that. Can't work with this type of stuff. So I'm stirring right now. Okay, not as easy as it looks, friends. Takes a professional. And now it's time to add in our spring-themed Rice Krispies. Now that that is fully combined, I'm just going to throw on some gloves so I can get right in there and start rolling my cookies. Now what I have beside me here is a foil sheet pan that I've just covered with some parchment paper for ease after our cook. Now my grill's also heating up. I'm shooting for a temperature right around 400 degrees. Now we want about tablespoon-sized cookies. All right, so that gives me about 12 cookies on this sheet. Now, if you're looking for a thinner cookie, go ahead at this point and push those down, but I think I'm gonna leave mine thick. So let's get it on the heat. Now these are going to take about 7 to 8 minutes, so don't go too far away. And you just want to give a little peek in periodically, make sure everything's going well. Cookies not only smell great, but I just checked them. They're looking great. Time to get them off. Oh yes. Look at that. Does that not look heavenly, y'all? Oh, they're so cute with all the little colors in them as well. Now this is normally where we would let them sit and cool off, but I have a fork over here and I'm gonna use it. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Stop it. Guys, this is serious. This is serious deliciousness. So not only do you have what you would expect from a chocolate chip cookie, but I'm also getting those crispy bites. I have to finish this. I have no choice. It's absolutely delicious. As you can see, beer is not just a beverage to be enjoyed, but also a flavorful way to elevate your dish. And incorporating it into food is something our ancestors certainly got right. So cheers to them. For all of today's recipes and so much more, check out our website. And thanks for tuning in to The Wild Grill, full of flavor. Yay, ancestors. I should probably eat one more of these. It's only right.